Good evening. I hope you guys had a great week. Sorry I wasn't with you guys last Friday. We were going to go out of town, but the weather forecast looked rather ominous, so we decided not to. But it was still nice to take the night off. I don't recall doing anything spectacular, but I guess I did something. Okay, I'm just waiting for the video to pop up here on the laptop so I can better keep track of comments. Eventually, it will catch up. You can get an idea of what's going on over here tonight. Why is this taking so long? My goodness. Hi, Dana. All right. Well, oh, there we go. Thank goodness. Good grief. That took a while. Okay. So tonight we are going to be playing with the double dial die. Hi, Sheila. Oh, from Oklahoma. I won't bust into song. We sang one of those in a girls' ensemble group I was in middle school. But I won't be doing that tonight. I know you're very disappointed. I know. But you can't talk me into it. So we're going to be playing with the double dial die. And I'll give you a quick peek at a card that I made that I will share at some point tomorrow. A quick peek. Ooh. So you'll see that a little better tomorrow. So to make this simple and to show you how easy this is to assemble, I literally cut it out as it is. I decided not to do any fancy business. I was trying to find a way to make it do something a little different, not as it's supposed to be used. I think it's fun to do that, but to show you really how easy this is to use and assemble, I figured the best way to do that would be to assemble it as it's supposed to be assembled. I'm saying assemble a lot. So I cut out all the pieces, and I'll show you all the pieces here. And I quite literally followed the directions on the back of the insert. I did not look at any other special videos. There are videos out there, but I really only followed this, and it went together so quickly. So I hope that you'll give it a shot yourself. So for today's project, I'm so cold if you see me shivering. Let's see. So for today's project, we're going to create a pool scene using the die set. So I did do something a little different, but mostly everything's the same. And we're going to be using the pool party stamp set from Avery, Elle. Hi, Mel. And as I did with this card that you'll see better tomorrow, I decided to cut 2 panels using this, I don't know, the card die. I don't know what better name for this, that background piece. Let's see, what does she call it? The frame. So I cut 2 of those so that I could perfectly layer the back on. No, for this one, I went ahead and stamped a sentiment and second generation stamped some of the images on the back just to make it a little more fun, because I won't be able to do that after I put it together. All right, so I went ahead, I'm using blue because it's going to be a pool. So I cut, again, 2 of the frame pieces from blue cardstock. I cut all the bits from that same colored blue cardstock. I figured if I use the same color, it won't be quite as noticeable in these channels here. And as you see, there are 4, what does she call them here? The washers. There are 4 sizes for the washers, and that's great because then you can cut any of the sizes to best fit your image. but because I'm being kind of lazy, I went ahead and just cut all 4 of the sizes. That's what I did on my other card. It worked just fine, and then I'm not having to run it through 4 times. Although I suppose you could double up your paper and cut it a couple times. Yes, the base of the frame, that's good. I kind of like base as well, Miss Sheila. So I went ahead and just cut these 4 out as they are. I know they're all 4 different sizes. Didn't make a difference. You can't even see it. It's going to be behind the image anyways. And again, the dial part, insert into the front piece only. I did not cut it into the base, the back panel, and then this other lever piece. So because I'm going to make it a pool and I wanted to have a pool border, if you will, I cut another base or frame piece. Hi, Sean. From a textured gray cardstock, as you see here. I thought it would be fun to kind of have the texture to kind of mimic concrete, if you will, around a pool. So, and I just on the back side with pencil, you can still see my pencil line, just kind of sketched out a rough border and then shoved my scissors in there and cut it out. All right, so to assemble this, again, I'm gonna reference the directions on the back because it really is that easy. We're gonna follow them. So we need 4 brads per the directions, and I'm just using these paper fastener brads from Walmart. There you go. These worked great. So I've got my 4 brads. All right, so step 1. We're going to put a brad, let's see. We're gonna take this one, stick it behind this bigger spinny bit, brad, through the hole, through one of the ends of this other lever piece. Hi, Miss T. And I'm pushing it down. As you see, it is not tight. I don't know if you can see that very well. It is not on there very tight. I am intentionally leaving some space there. I'm also going to work that. The holes in the pieces are much smaller than the arms of my brads. This way, that can get nice and loosened and wiggled up. So I'll have no issues with my movement. I highly recommend doing this. Okay, as you see, it just kind of, well, works itself in there quite nice. All right, so we've completed this step. Next step, brad 2 goes through the frame. That's this piece. And dial with the head up. All right, and as you see in the instructions here, because it's shaded out, that's gonna go underneath, which kind of makes sense if you're kind of looking at how this is gonna be assembled. So we're gonna go through the hole in the front of the frame. Boink. Then we're gonna go through the center of this dial piece with the head up as instructed. Now I will briefly mention to create this aquatic background. As you see, it's shiny. I just used a stencil from Echo Park that was in my stash. I believe I did get this from 7 Kids. Oh my goodness, maybe a year or 2 ago. It's actually a snow flurry stencil, but I loved the movement in it and thought it could mimic wave movements or something in a pool. To give it the shiny texture, I actually attempted to cut some acetate, but the die did not really cut through the acetate super well. So I remembered having some Liquitex gloss gel medium. This stuff is pretty dang awesome. If you don't, and I'm not a big mixed media person, I'm a wannabe mixed media artist, but man, pick some of this stuff up. I think this is gonna last me for the rest of my life and maybe the rest of my daughter's lives. You literally only need a tiny, tiny amount. I took it and any type of little piece of plastic, an old credit card, a current credit card if you just wash it off soon enough, just any straight firm edge, a ruler, and I literally scooped some out with the corner and just smeared it on. Tried to be even. You can see some of the lines there. from me smushing it on there. Doesn't really bother me. It dried really fast, and it gives us this really awesome sheen. I don't know how well you can see that there. So, mission accomplished. And I didn't have to fussy with the acetate. So, back to this assembly. So Brad is attached through the front of the frame and then through the dial. And again, we do not push that on tight. And as I did with the other one, I'm gonna wiggle that around really well until I feel that the movement is nice, free, and smooth. Hi, Miss Angela. Okay, so that's nice. There's no sticking there. Step 3, Brad 3 goes through washer number 1, the frame, dial, and washer number 2 with the head up. So I'm gonna move this one over. We're gonna go through here, and let's see. I believe my smaller one I was gonna put here, so we'll just take the 2 smaller pieces. So Brad, we're gonna sandwich all of this between the washers. Bigger one, poke it through there, poke it through this movement hole, that's eloquent, through the hole in the dial arm. Oh goodness. Let's see if I can coordinate myself a little bit. And then the final washer goes on the back. You can follow directions as they're written and do 4 of the same sized washer pieces. I did not feel like that was necessary for my projects. And time is of the essence, right? Working mom, man, oh man, no time for that. So, you can. I just chose not to, and it did not seem to make a difference. Reminds you of Moana? Yeah, that's right. Oh, so shiny. We love that part. Of course, we love Jermaine. Anyways, from Flight of the Conchords, so. Extra bonus. Is that a hair on there? No. Okay, as you see, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Everything's moving nice and smooth. It's taking very little effort. That's what you want to see. Wiggle, wiggle. All right, let me make sure that's nice and loose again. Make sure we've got some movement. I wasn't sure if the gel medium on the front of the card would make a difference. You would think, since it's a gloss, that it would actually encourage smoother movement, but I was not sure. It was a mystery. All right, now we're down to Brad number 4. We're just gonna repeat that with this second arm, just like we did with this one. So I'll take the bigger one, poke it through, poke it through. Last washer. Ta-da, almost ta-da. Bend the arms down, not very tightly. And wiggle it around. Ooh, there we go. I'm gonna do this just a bit more because, again, it's gotta work itself out there. And as you see, that was really quick, wasn't it? Very quick. Everything moves as it's intended. Hip, hip, hooray. So now we just have to cover up these Brad heads and finish assembling the card. Woohoo! All right, let me just check the movement again. Everything's moving as I want it to. I guess that's as far as that's gonna go. All right, now, there we go. All right, so let's put this sucker together. I did use a double layer of foam tape between the top and the bottom, just so there's no impedance of movement. So let's do that quickly with my sticky scissors and my tape. This is the boring part. Oh, so necessary, but very boring. Yeah, Miss Francis, it seriously is way easier than I thought it was gonna be. I was hesitant to try it Mostly because I wasn't sure what I wanted to use to put it together, you know, what images I wanted to have move. But the more I thought about it, and of course help with the design team and Miss Kelly, ooh, my goodness, my paper's getting weak there. And you definitely need heavier cardstock for this. Just as you saw here, it kind of pinched a little bit. Yeah, I think you guys would be surprised at how easy this really is to put together. You see, I didn't use any fancy tricks. I literally followed the directions on the back. What I'm doing is just making sure that my foam adhesive here is not going to get in the way of things moving around. I don't want it to stick. It looks like that Brad might want to a little bit, so I'm gonna turn the arms of it just a smidge. In fact, I might twist it around a little bit anyways. It feels a little stiff in there. Watch the movement from the back. Why aren't you moving? It's Friday. It doesn't want to move. There we go. I think I had it. It was up too far. Okay. Oh, wow, that's a really good sale, Miss T. Thank you for throwing that up there. I'm going to read what Miss T. Tucker wrote. It says, we have a weekend sale going on now through Sunday, 29% off all purchases over $25. So you can snag this die set as well as some stamps that you can use in it and save pretty well. Let me make sure this isn't going to get in the way. Peel off paper backing, because you know that's everybody's favorite part. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Watching me put foam tape on stuff and peel off the special red part. Hey, it's all important. I wish I had some of my stupid jokes to tell. I did not prepare. Should get Miss Kelly. Miss Kelly said she was busy. She might not be able to get on, but I usually send her ridiculous jokes on my orders because it's fun. Layer number 2. And look at that. It's not an even match. Doesn't matter. Final peel off. Well, at least for this part. Okay, there we go. So double layer of foam tape. I'm gonna try not to bump anything while I'm doing this. Our lighting is not the best in here. It always casts such weirdo shadows. Oh my gracious. I might have to take it off camera to do this. I'm looking through the little eyelet edge to try to level it as best as I can. Mush, mush. There we go. All around. Test the movement. And you see, everything's moving just fine. Awesome. All right. I know, interactive cards really are fun. I used to make more of them, and then I don't know why I stopped. But yes, interactive cards are fun. And this die is a lot of fun, Denise, I agree. All right. In an effort to not make this card, you know, half an inch thick, I'm going to glue the pool edge on flat instead of adding even more dimension. Whoops. Wipe that off my fingers. tuck that underneath the brad head a little bit there. Let's see. There we go. See, our little pool is shaping up. Oh my goodness. All right. And I want to start with them together so I can get a better idea of where I want to put her so they don't exactly bump into each other so much. That is the risk you take. So I think we'll go something like this. And on my other card, I just used score tape on the brad heads. That seemed to work okay. I will mention sometimes it's easy to accidentally squeeze the brad tighter while you're doing this, so that's not exactly the most fun, because that's what you don't want to do. Let me see. Rub it on there. Let me close up my glue. Trying not to peel the entire piece of tape off the brad. Oh, come on now. Other piece, the release paper. Add our little ladies. Why is that poking up so much right there? Let me see if that messes up anything. There we go. That part's kind of poking up a little bit more than it probably should or needs to. Okay. So I will put the smaller girl here, and I'm not going to push it super hard yet because I just want to check the movement. And we'll put her right here. Whee! So fun. I might angle her just a little bit differently. Okay, I think I like that better. All right, now I'm gonna try to burnish, on this tiny little bit as much as you can without knocking it in there too far. Yeah, I'm sure you could use a glue or something. I'm just gonna loosen that up a little bit. It looks like it's gotten a little tighter in there. I need a pokey device. Okay, check it again. Whee, look at that, there we go. So to cover this brad, I'm always going to use the beach ball, although I'm concerned that this is gonna interfere right there, but that's okay. For this one, just because I know we're gonna just stick it over here on the side somewhere, I'm just gonna put the adhesive here onto the back of the beach ball. Hi, Kathy. That's right, pool race. Yeah, someone did do a cannonball. And they're gonna splash water in that beverage. Oh, I missed some of the comments, I'm sorry. Let's see. Yeah, I do, you're right. I do need some glue dots the size of the brad heads. That would probably be a little easier. So there you go, note to self. Glue dots would probably make your life a little bit easier. Put it down a little bit more so it looks like it's floating in the pool. I'm gonna try to go off to the bottom edge a little bit so we don't impact this so much with the movement. Yeehaw! Yeah, that'll work. Now we have to add, uh-oh, oh no! You know what, I might have to, nah, that works. I mean, if somebody's gonna be aggressive with this thing, they don't deserve it. All right, so now the sentiment, I'm just gonna put down here, and the little floaty drink will float over here, donut floaty, and You know, while we're popping things up, we might as well pop this up too. My tape is a bit too wide for this. This is still going to be too wide for that. Oh, bummer. Once again, the exciting, how quickly can Marcia take off the release part? Okay. So I chose to just do happy birthday. That's pretty easy peasy. Build up my birthday card stash, right? Mush. We'll lift this one up too. Everything else is dimensional. The drink might get jealous. All I'm doing is cutting a teeny tiny little square with my super sticky scissors that I only use for cutting the sticky stuff. Does anybody else have designated sticky stuff scissors? You should. It is a cute set, isn't it? I think this was part of last summer's release, if I remember correctly. I don't know if Kelly still has them in the store. Ooh, I hope so. I just recently purchased this from her too, so it's not like I've been hanging on to it for a year. Can't say that about all my stamps. Mush, mush. And that's it. Happy birthday. Make a splash. And cannonball with your floaties. So I hope this has relieved some of you who are afraid to try it because it might look a little scary. I am so glad you think I'm more entertaining than laundry. I am flattered. Oh, good. I'm glad they're still available in the store, T. That's good. See, so you guys can make an interactive floaty pool card too. My daughters have so much fun playing with this movement on the other card. I mean, it's just fun. I just stand here doing this. I keep saying I'm checking the mechanism, but it's just really a lot of fun to do. It's fun to see. So that's it. Thank you, Dana. Well, I hope you guys will be encouraged to try this out yourself and see that it really is very simple. As you see, I cut it out just as it's intended. I didn't really add any extra stuff aside from the frame for the pool, but you don't even need to do that. They could just be floating in the ocean or in a giant pool so you wouldn't even see the sides. But the directions here on the back are perfect, very easy to follow. You don't need any special materials other than the 4 brads and a nice heavier cardstock. I would not recommend using just that thinner cardstock paper. To make this, it requires, you would need probably just a single sheet of 8.5 by 11. Once again, I don't mount this to a card front. You could. So you would just need a card front panel to cut the panel front and then just mount it onto a card. But I think this is kind of fun. Doing it like this. It's kind of like an interactive postcard. And then go pick up these cuties because my goodness, how adorable are they? Which one would you be? I'm kind of partial to the flamingo. I've always liked flamingos though. And then I want the drink. Yay! All right. Can I show the other card, Sean? Okay, pull my leg. I'll post this on my blog tomorrow and I'll share it in the group. For this card, this was just kind of I just cut the die out of just some scrap paper more or less, but I decided to use it for the card just so I could test the mechanism. My daughters played with it, so these are starting to bend. I used the Stamping Bella vintage line for the images. Whee! Now for the butterfly to fly beneath the sentiment on this one, I tripled the foam. I didn't want it to catch it all, and I thought it would be a lot of fun to fit here. This is an A2 size card, so this fits in a standard A2 sized envelope. Granted, keep in mind, you are gonna have, it's gonna be quite a bit thicker, okay? But it definitely fits in an A2 size envelope. So, yay, up and away. And as you see, I've turned the cards, the mechanism moves them differently. So play with that too. Hooray, see her balloon floats into the air. Whee! Yeah, oh my gosh, I love the vintage line so much. I agree, T. Love it, love it. So here you go, guys. 2 cards using the double dial die. I use them exactly the way the die was intended. I didn't modify anything because you can do that. Because see this, the dial slider bits, you can take that out of there and pop it on any other card front. Several people have done that. So there's tons of inspiration out there for that. But I just wanted to show you guys how easy this was to assemble as it is. You don't have to do any paper science to it to make it work. It works quite nicely the way it was designed. So thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Miss Denise. I hope you guys have a lovely Friday, and I'll catch you guys next Friday.